shimmering city. Captain Alex Mercer stood on the balcony of his quarters, gazing at the nebula-streaked sky. The first day of the tournament had tested his courage, intelligence, and determination, but he knew that the next challenges would test him in ways he could not yet imagine. Today, the trials would focus not only on skill but also on character, leadership, and the ability to inspire trust. Alex dressed quickly, his human uniform simple yet functional. Other contestants were already gathering in the central plaza, each adorned in intricate attire or advanced armor, signaling their readiness. Whispers of speculation floated through the air, many alien voices questioning whether a human could survive the coming challenges. Alex ignored them, focusing on the lesson he had learned long ago. Fear had no place in a soldier's mind, and courage was often the key to winning battles where strength alone failed. Princess Lyra appeared in the plaza as the crowd quieted. She floated gracefully above the ground, her violet eyes observing each contestant. "Today," she said, her voice carrying clearly through the air, "your final trial begins. This challenge will test not your strength or intelligence alone, but your ability to lead, to care, and to act with honor. Fail in character, and even victory in skill will not matter." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of her words. The final trial, he realized, would be the ultimate test. The contestants were transported to a distant planet, a world racked by violent storms and seismic instability. In the distance, a colony of an alien species, the Scifi, was trapped. Their habitats were crumbling under violent tremors, and their energy fields were failing. Each contestant was tasked with leading a rescue mission to save as many Scifi as possible, using a combination of their own skills, the planet's limited resources, and assistance from their assigned teams. Many competitors hesitated, overwhelmed by the complexity of the task. Some attempted to issue orders without listening, while others focused on saving only the strongest or the most impressive individuals. Alex took a deep breath, assessing the situation. His experience in battlefield strategy and leadership came into play immediately. He organized his team, assigning tasks based on each member's strengths, and personally led the way into the storm toward the most vulnerable groups. Lightning cracked across the sky, illuminating the jagged terrain. Winds threatened to knock the rescuers off their feet, and the ground shifted unpredictably. Alex's small human body moved with precision, leaping across gaps, supporting heavier team members and carrying the injured when needed. Every action he took reflected a single principle. No life was expendable, and every decision mattered. Several times Alex found himself in life-or-death situations. A collapsing structure threatened to crush a Scifi mother and her children. Without hesitation, he dove, grabbing them and rolling to safety as the building fell behind him. Another time, an energy field overloaded, threatening the entire rescue operation. Alex calculated a risky maneuver, diverting the energy with minimal tools, saving dozens of lives while taking only minor injury himself. Princess Lyra observed the events from a hovering vantage point, her eyes never leaving the human soldier. She noted the differences immediately. Many other contestants acted from ego, seeking recognition for their heroics. Alex acted from instinct and compassion, never seeking attention, never considering glory. He treated every life equally, regardless of size, strength, or species. By midday, the storm had begun to ease, and the rescued Scifi were gathered safely in temporary shelters. Reports came in from the judges, noting Alex's extraordinary leadership. Where others had faltered or chosen efficiency over morality, Alex had acted with integrity and courage, proving that his human heart was as formidable as any alien technology. One of the Andarian judges, a multi-eyed creature with a crystalline form, spoke to the observing crowd. "This human," it said, its voice vibrating, "exemplifies virtues that even our most advanced societies struggle to uphold. He does not dominate. He inspires. He does not fear. He protects. This is the mark of true worth." As the sun set over the floating planet, the contestants were gathered again, weary but alive. Princess Lyra descended, landing gracefully in front of Alex. "Captain Mercer," she said, her tone a mixture of admiration and curiosity, "your actions today have been exceptional. I have observed many beings claim to be worthy, yet few demonstrate the qualities you possess. Tell me, human, what drives you?" Alex looked at her, his chest still heaving from the day's exertions. "I fight because it is right," he said simply. I protect because I must. And I act because no life is insignificant. That is what humans do. We survive, yes, but we also care. That is how we make the galaxy worth saving. Lyra's gaze softened, and for the first time she smiled. A small, knowing smile that hinted at approval and intrigue. You are unlike any competitor I have seen, she said. Perhaps unlike any being I have met. The final challenge had one last obstacle. The Andarian Council. Though impressed by Alex's actions, some council members were hesitant to allow a human to marry the princess. Differences in biology, culture, and tradition made the proposal controversial. The council convened, their holographic forms shimmering in the grand chamber. Several members voiced concerns, questioning whether a human could truly understand the responsibilities of joining the Andarian royal family. Princess Lyra stood before them, unwavering. Captain Mercer has proven his worth, she said firmly. Not by his strength or his title, but by his character. He embodies qualities that no advanced technology or ancient tradition can replicate. If we judge him by species alone, we deny the truth we have witnessed. I will not be denied the choice to recognize true worth when I see it. The council murmured among themselves, debating for hours. Many were swayed by the evidence of Alex's heroism, the respect he had earned from other contestants, and Lyra's unwavering support. Slowly, consensus shifted. The decision was clear. Alex Mercer had earned the right to be recognized as worthy of the princess's hand. The ceremony was unlike anything Alex had ever imagined. The city's floating towers glowed with energy, and ships from across the galaxy observed from orbit. Lyra descended beside him, her presence radiant. The council officiated, and the crowd erupted in cheers as the union was declared official. Alex felt a mixture of awe, relief, and humility. He had not expected to win, yet here he was, standing beside the most extraordinary being he had ever met. The crowd's applause was not just for the union, but for what it represented. The recognition of human courage, ingenuity, and heart. Princess Lyra turned to him, her violet eyes reflecting the light of the city. Today you have shown what it means to be truly worthy, she said. Not all beings have strength and not all have wisdom, but you have both and more. You have shown humanity at its finest. Alex smiled, his hand brushing hers. I only did what I could, he said. But perhaps together we can do more than I ever imagined. Humans and Andarian. Maybe the galaxy is just beginning to understand what we can achieve together. Celebrations lasted for days. Humans and aliens mingled, sharing stories, technology, and culture. Alex found himself learning more about the Andarian Empire than any soldier could in years of missions. He marveled at their advancements. Yet he also realized that despite differences in biology and technology, the values of courage, honor, and compassion were universal. Princess Lyra joined him during quiet moments, discussing strategy, culture, and life in the galaxy. She had expected brilliance, but what fascinated her most was Alex's humility, his bravery, and his dedication not to glory, but to what was right. In his presence, she felt hope, not just for herself, but for the galaxy and its endless possibilities. Weeks passed, and Alex and Lyra began their new journey together, traveling between worlds, mediating disputes, and showcasing the strength of unity between species. Wherever they went, humans were seen in a new light, as capable, courageous, and compassionate. Alex, the human soldier who had once feared that he did not belong among the stars, became a symbol of what humanity could achieve when it faced challenges with heart and determination. And in every new world, every new challenge, Lyra watched him with admiration and trust, knowing that the human beside her was not just a soldier but a partner, an equal, and a force capable of shaping the galaxy in ways no one had imagined. Alex looked at her one evening as they floated above a serene planet, its waters reflecting the light of twin suns. He smiled, thinking of the long journey from a lone soldier to a hero recognized across the galaxy. We've only just begun, he said quietly. Lyra nodded, her hand in his. Yes, she replied, her voice filled with hope. And together, we will show the galaxy what humanity and what true partnership can accomplish. The stars stretched endlessly before them, silent witnesses to the courage, heart, and determination of a human soldier who had dared to dream beyond the limits of his world. And in that vast expanse, a new chapter for humanity and for the galaxy had begun. The city of Valaris shimmered under the pale light of twin suns. Towers of glass and metal stretched high into the sky, their tips glinting like stars. Floating platforms hovered around the tallest spires, carrying citizens from one level to another in quiet, gliding transports. Despite the beauty, the city held an underlying tension, an invisible weight of politics, power, and history. Alex Carter stepped off the transport and surveyed the bustling platform. As a human guard in an alien world, he had learned to notice everything. The subtle movements of citizens, the hum of energy shields, and the faint vibration of machinery beneath his boots. His sharp eyes scanned the crowd for anything unusual. Being assigned to Princess Lyra Valanis was a prestigious posting, but also dangerous. She was young, intelligent, and a symbol of her people's strength. Protecting her meant constant vigilance. "Alex," called a melodic voice, drawing his attention upward. The princess appeared on a higher platform, her robes flowing like liquid light. Her eyes, a vivid shade of violet, studied him with a curious intensity. She descended gracefully, her movements precise and confident. "Your Highness," Alex said, bowing slightly, though he was careful to maintain professional distance. Lyra smiled faintly. "I hope you are ready for this assignment. I have heard good things about your skills." Alex met her gaze steadily. "I will do my duty, Princess. Nothing will happen to you while I am here." The princess's lips curved into a small, approving smile, but there was a spark in her eyes, a challenge, as if she were testing him. Alex had encountered this before. Royalty often measured their protectors, assessing not just skill but character. The day passed with routine inspections and cautious social interactions. Lyra's schedule was filled with meetings, audiences, and tours of the city's technological marvels. Alex stayed close, ever watchful, but he also noticed her subtle interest in human behavior. She asked questions about his training, about Earth, about how humans adapted to dangerous situations. Her curiosity was genuine, though guarded, as if she were revealing a small part of herself to test his reactions. As the twin suns dipped below the horizon, the city began to hum with a different energy. Lights shifted, casting long shadows across the platforms. Alex guided Lyra to the observation deck of the palace, a tall structure that rose above even the highest towers. From here, one could see the sprawling city, the floating gardens, and the dangerous wildlands beyond. "It is beautiful," Lyra said softly, leaning on the railing. Her eyes reflected the colors of the sunset, a mixture of orange, pink, and violet. "Sometimes I wish I could stay here forever and forget the responsibilities waiting below." Alex glanced at her. "Duty can be heavy, Your Highness, but it is what shapes leaders. You are not alone in carrying it." She looked at him, her gaze piercing yet thoughtful. "You seem to carry your own burdens, Alex Carter. I see it in your eyes." He chose his words carefully. "Everyone has their burdens, Princess. Some are easier to bear than others." Before she could respond, a sudden tremor shook the platform. The energy shield surrounding the city flickered violently. Citizens screamed as alarms blared. Alex immediately moved in front of Lyra, scanning for danger. "What is happening?" Lyra asked, her voice calm despite the panic around them. "A seismic event," Alex said grimly. "It could be the ground or the shield. I need to get you to safety." The observation deck shook again, stronger this time. Panels of glass cracked and debris rained down from above. Alex grabbed Lyra's arm and pulled her toward the inner chamber. But before they could reach it, a massive piece of debris fell, blocking their exit. The door was jammed. "We are trapped," Alex said, assessing the situation quickly. "We need another way out." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Follow me," she said, moving toward a maintenance hatch hidden behind a decorative panel. Her fingers pressed a sequence on the control panel, and the hatch slid open silently. Alex's eyebrows rose in surprise. "You know this place well." Lyra glanced at him with a faint smile. "More than most guards realize. I like to understand the systems around me." They climbed down into the narrow shaft, the sounds of the city above fading into a low, distant hum. Alex kept one hand on Lyra's back, guiding her carefully through the twisting corridors. The shafts were dimly lit, narrow, and lined with complex machinery. Automated drones occasionally hovered past, scanning the tunnels for damage. Alex's instincts were on high alert. He moved with precision, analyzing every corner, every shadow. Lyra followed, calm but attentive, occasionally manipulating panels to clear blocked sections. "You are very capable," Alex said cautiously. "I did not expect." She laughed softly, cutting him off. That a princess would understand machines? Most people assume royalty is only ceremonial. Alex shook his head. Not many people think, princess. But that can be dangerous too. Lyra stopped for a moment, examining a control panel. Sometimes danger is the only way to learn. I think you would agree. He did not answer immediately. He had learned over time that humans often underestimated aliens, but Lyra was different. Her curiosity was tempered with intelligence and caution. He felt an unspoken understanding forming between them. Hours seemed to pass as they navigated the twisting shafts. Occasionally they encountered hazards, falling panels, malfunctioning drones, and energy surges that forced them to take cover. Each challenge required them to work together. Lyra's knowledge of the machinery complemented Alex's tactical skills. She guided him through technical puzzles. He protected her from sudden threats. At one point, a section of the shaft collapsed behind them, leaving only one narrow path forward. Alex held the debris aside while Lyra crawled through. As she emerged on the other side, she paused and looked back at him. "You trust me, Alex?" she asked quietly. He studied her face. "I have to. We are in this together." Her lips curved into a faint, appreciative smile. "I think I understand humans a little better now." They continued forward, their conversation easing into something more personal. Lyra spoke of her responsibilities, her dreams of seeing other worlds, and her fascination with humans. Alex, in turn, shared fragments of his past, missions that tested his limits, failures that still haunted him. They did not tell everything. Some secrets remained carefully guarded, but the trust between them grew. Eventually, they reached a large chamber filled with ancient machinery. Energy conduits hummed along the walls, and a massive observation window revealed the city far above. It was a breathtaking view, but it also reminded them of their precarious situation. "We need to find a way out," Alex said, scanning the chamber. Lyra approached a console and activated a holographic map. "There is a maintenance transport system that can lead us back to the surface. But it is old, unstable. It will not hold two people easily." Alex studied the hologram. "Then we need to move carefully. Timing will be critical." They worked together, synchronizing movements, planning steps, and avoiding malfunctioning security systems. Each moment demanded precision and attention. Their combined skills allowed them to bypass obstacles that would have been impossible alone. As they approached the transport system, the chamber began to tremble. A low rumble shook the walls, dust falling from the ceiling. Alex grabbed Lyra's hand. "Hold on," he said firmly. The transport platform emerged from the shadows, humming to life. They stepped onto it cautiously. The machinery shuddered but remained stable. Alex guided Lyra as the platform ascended, moving through narrow tunnels toward the surface. Finally, they emerged into the open air of the palace gardens. The city lights glimmered around them, but the danger was not entirely over. Debris still fell from the upper structures, and the energy shield was unstable. Lyra looked at Alex, her expression a mixture of relief and admiration. "I think we make a good team," she said. Alex nodded, allowing himself a brief smile. "We do. But we are not safe yet." Before they could move further, the platform beneath them cracked, forcing them to leap to a nearby spire. The leap was long and dangerous, but they landed safely. As they caught their breath, both realized something crucial. Their survival depended entirely on their cooperation. "You have secrets," Lyra said quietly, glancing at Alex. "And you have yours," he replied, meeting her gaze. A silent understanding passed between them. In this strange, dangerous world, their secrets were not barriers, they were tools, keys to survival, and the beginnings of trust. As they looked out over the city, the twin suns disappearing behind the horizon, both knew that this was only the beginning. The night would bring new challenges, and the bond between them would be tested in ways they could not yet imagine. But for the first time, Alex and Lyra felt that they were not alone. Together they moved toward the heart of the city, shadows stretching around them. Their journey had begun, and neither of them would face it without the other.